Hello, everybody. Good morning. I hope that uh, everyone can hear me okay. Let's see. Looks like everything's working. Great. It's happy Wednesday. Um, Looks like we're getting back into the cool temperatures. We had a warm day yesterday and the day before, and today it's going to be 68. It looks like that we're going to drop after tomorrow. So today's going to be like 75, so not too bad. But Thursday 60, it's going to be in the 60s, and then it's going to drop down in the 40s. So yeah, an interesting pattern of weather that we're having. It's like jumping all around, and it's really abnormal. Um, it is really abnormal. Uh, so for this time of year, anyway, since I've been here. I've been in Wisconsin since July of 2019. So, yeah, since I've been here, the weather's been pretty, I'm trying to think of the word, pretty, similar every year. I mean, we do get some days that are like, of course, like 1 year's colder than the next, but it's never been like fluctuating this badly. So it's crazy. I am in Watoka for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why I'm here. So, um, I think over here I can look for an item that spawns typically right here. Usually you can get some good mods that spawn here, so if I am in the area, I will check that out just to be sure. There's another one on the roof, but I only ever go after that if it's we have like the drop connection for the Enclave. And the only reason I do that event is because of the mods you can get that you can't get anywhere else. So you can either buy them, which is hard to do, or you can get them from the event. Um, so we have these events here to do. We have a new week that completed on Tuesday. So we go to our weekly events, and it's a trick or treat. So um, go ahead and get those done, and then we can get that event knocked out of the park. It's not anything I really want. The only thing that I enjoy Fallout, so it saddens me. Oh, look at that! I get Fallout first. Uh, if it lets me get down there, 6 days. Yeah. I guess I should have went on here on Tuesday and did that. Um, I haven't been on since Monday when I did my stream. So, um, yeah. At least I'll be able to put stuff in my scrap box. I'll be able to loot and then use my tent, my survival tent. So, that makes me happy. That makes me happy. I think I could also get the. If that's the case, I wonder we can get the things from the seasons then. Ooh, yes, we. No. Ah. So you get the thing, but you don't get the um. Word. Um. Like it lets me put the tent out, but yeah, I'm not sure why he's angry. Um. But it's got fortifiance are closer to this location. So yeah, I'm continuing on my Spooky Scorch. I think it's still Spooky Scorch. Yeah, because of the weeklies. And then I'll do some trick or treating as well. I'm just waiting for this to load. I'm gonna turn off notifications. I'm just getting notifications of a post I made. I'm in a group. It's just women who are um, on their journey, you know, and I thought that the group would be um, like I thought it would be better, like a really good thing for me to talk about other women um, who are on their same journey. I probably should have just picked that up immediately. It's gone. That's good. I thought it would be a good thing to talk to others, but I am noticing in this group, they're very judgmental. I was talking about holding the Sabbath, and I had a revelation a couple of days ago um, that it really opened my eyes of how badly things are in the world right now, like just how bad they are, that we're not holding the Sabbath day, and they nitpick, and I'm like, okay, so, I mean, the weeks usually start on, I was always told that the week started on Monday, and Sunday was the seventh day, and, like, I was watching, and the only reason I'm going in here is because I'm going to check for the red dress. I haven't done that in a while, and it's just a red asylum dress. I had one at one point and gave it away. Well, traded it. So, I look for the other one, another, just to see. But anyway, so I was watching and reading, and just really engulfing myself into, um, are we are we keeping the Sabbath? And I'm like, no, I wasn't keeping the Sabbath day. Um, so I hear somebody talking. No, I don't know. So I come to the conclusion that I wasn't keeping the Sabbath day. I wasn't keeping the correct Sabbath day. And I realized that a lot of the things that we do, like for churches and stuff, is based off the Catholic Church, not based off the Bible. And that makes you kind of go down this deep rabbit hole, and it's really hard to explain to others. But then when you do open up about it, I was told to be careful because, people think that you're nuts. People do. They think that you're crazy when you're talking about um, like the Sabbath day and how we've been lied to for a long time, and that the Catholic Church is the reason why we've been lied to. So it's a lot. It's like people assume it's an attack, and I'm like, it's not an attack. I promise, I'm not attacking anybody. It is just, it is what it is. It's truth that's going on, and they did lie. If you look at the evidence that's presented, but they don't want to hear anything of it. In their mind, you're um, being disrespectful and spreading lies. So I am feeling sorry, I'm feeling the pressure of making a post about, if anyone else does, keeps the Sabbath day. And a lot of people are saying, well, you're not keeping the Sabbath day because no one knows what the Sabbath day is. I mean, yes, it doesn't spell it out in the Bible, but if you think about it from a standpoint, it doesn't make sense for the workday to start on a Monday because you're not prepared. Sunday allows you to prepare, allows you to prepare for the week ahead. So therefore, it would be the first day of that week. The last day of the week is the day of rest, which is the day that you don't work. You just take the time for yourself, and And this is the time where you are thankful because you worship God every day. It is so good to make time for God every day. But you have to make that connection with Him on the day that He made holy. And honestly, if you're going to go to church on Sundays and worship, that I guess that's fine. But that you're not holding the Sabbath day if you're going working on Sunday. If you're doing Saturday, if you're doing chores on Saturday, because that's what a lot of people do when they worship on Sunday. They use Sunday as their quote unquote day of rest, and that is not the day. That's the day that God had put aside to kind of start your works. That's where you start getting prepared, and that's just my interpretation of it. I'm not saying that's the truth because I'm not God. I wasn't there when um, everything was made, but how do they know that uh, like Sunday, for example, is that it's just it used to be Saturday. It used to always be on a Saturday, and then the Catholic Church changed it to Sunday. And I just think that's very peculiar. And the more I look into it, reading the Bible is where I'm usually getting all my interpretations from. So I definitely urge people to read the Bible themselves and um, not rely on other people to read it to you and interpret it to you. Um, that's kind of how I have been living my entire life up until the point where I started to actually read the Bible for myself and to understand it. And it's not just reading it once. Um, I started from front to cover, and I'm in Acts right now. And once I start getting through the Bible, I'm going to reread it again. And this time, I'm going to reread it part and part. So this part it gives me the understanding. It gives me an idea. It lays that foundation down, and then I want to go back and reread it. But this time, I want to reread it, and I'm not going to move on until I fully understand what's being said. And I may not understand 100%, but I want to make sure that I have more grasp to what's being said, to the lessons that are listed inside the Bible, because I do feel that yes, Revelations is important, but we also have to keep on the Old Testament. Jesus may have abolished, the need for sacrifice and such, but the laws of God were not abolished. The laws of God were not abolished at all. And we still have to follow the Ten Commandments. But how can we say that we follow the Ten Commandments, especially worshiping not keeping the Sabbath day if we're not keeping the Sabbath day? We are using that Saturday instead to get chores done. We're using it to work. A lot of people still work on the Saturday, and that's not keeping the commandments. If we don't keep the Sabbath day, we're not keeping that commandment. We're not going to keep the commandments. So, sorry, my throat. I'm going to clear it real quick. Hold on. There we go. So, one thing that we have to definitely make sure of is that when we are um, reading the Bible, we're reading it for ourselves. We are not going and relying on our pastor to read scriptures parts because they do skip through and they don't always interpret it the way that it's meant to be. So I definitely urge you to do that for yourself and take time. I didn't power read through the Bible this first time around. I have been taking it slowly. Just not as slowly as I think that I need to. So once I do get done with this, I am going to go back through and it's going to be more of, I don't know how to really put it. It's just more of like reading a verse, and I guess it's more of an in-depth Bible study. So you're reading a chapter and going through and talking about that chapter like with my hubby, or talking amongst myself about like what did I get from that verse, or what did I get from that chapter. And I just want to, and I don't know what they're doing here. You can't really get in there. Um, so that would be something that I'm excited to do. Um, I wanted to, yeah, I could technically do it right now, but I want to get through the rest of the. I want to get through the Bible right now, and then that way I can go through. Sorry, my throat, and and I could take my time because I know what's being said, but I'll be have a better understanding, and then I can focus on what I'm learning for that particular chapter, those particular scriptures, that particular lesson. It said it had one right there. I'm just not sure where. Like it should be like in this area, honestly. I don't understand people who do this. Uh, this is what really irritates me is that they don't put it in a all the way over here.
Yeah, not sure I got time for you, pal. Sorry.
Kind of reminds me of McCready from Fallout 4. Alright, so I'm gonna go up over here and then over here. A real blast. Yeah, I don't want to do that, so yeah, I'll do here first. Just get this done. I don't know what's going on with my throat, to be honest. Waiting for this to get done. Doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop. Let's see. Let's find, oh, stop barking. Sorry for the background noise. The doggos decide that they wanted to bark. Alright, sorry. I was, looking up some things. So, do they have theirs? Yes, I hope they do. Right there. So, easy peasy. I love when people have their cams like that. I'm actually gonna take a look. This is a prefab, and it goes up and up and up. My hubby had put one of these down when he was still playing Fallout, and he wanted to really fill it up, but his budget was met before he was able to fill this entire thing, like decorate it, you know. Um, it's a nice prefab and all, but I didn't end up getting it because of that reason. It was just to me not worth it. If I can't decorate it the way that I want, because of budget, then there really is no point for me to get it. And also, I've noticed a lot of things. Like I used to want to, like I used to say I need the things, right? All the things. Um, but I don't know. Like something in me kind of slowed down on wanting stuff. Like I never was materialistic, but you know, with video games, I like to decorate, especially in Fallout. But like lately, even like with Fortnite, like the games that I traditionally play, that have like an online store, like there'd be moments I'd be like, oh, I really want that. It's so cute, or it's adorable, or I could just use that, um, and nowadays it's like it doesn't matter. They're just pixels, you know. I do have this prefab though, and so I I've just been like not really wanting anything. Um, just haven't had anything worth buying.
You know, the world's kind of
It's
amazing.
raw. That must have been happening today. I don't have the things to. And they have mods. Interesting. All right, so we need one more person, and we're done with that. And then we just need someone to trick or treat at our. Um, yeah, you have to have three. They really force you to like stay on. Like I would like to get these done and then over with, but all right, let's go up here to these guys here. Oh, well, here we go. I was picking out a Bible verse for the day. This is perfect, actually. This is weird because I've been having some weird dreams, some really weird dreams. And I'm trying to interpret those the best I can. And sometimes it takes a while. Like the dream is so vivid, so real that I'm gonna kill the mole rats here. There we go. That it sticks with me. You know, sometimes you have dreams and well, you have dreams and usually you forget them, right? But then you have these like you have this one really vivid dream and it's just like it sticks with you for a while. It's exactly how it is. It just um, uh, kitchen. Oh wow. I mean, Oh, there's the mole rat that I killed. Just trying to... Like, that's the circus thing, but where is the... Um... Like, I don't understand why they have to hide the candy bowl. Yeah, trying to find this thing is crazy. I'm suffering from bone worms. They had a candy bowl. It says that they do, but where they have said candy bowl, I don't know. Like, it should be, like, out here. Oh, right there. And that's done. Alright. So there's that. Then we just have to wait for somebody to, like, their camp is just a hodgepodge of things. So, it's really interesting. We just have to wait for someone to go to our camp, to my camp, and I'll do that challenge. So, I'm all free with that. And, I don't really do, the, other stuff, like these here, because, like, there's really nothing that I want on the map, like, on the board. 10% challenge. It says I have a 10% boost, and I'm not sure why. I don't remember taking a booster, so, and those only give you 5%, I believe. So, interesting. Let's go ahead and continue our spooky hunts. We'll go north up here to see if there's anybody. Yeah, we should be okay. So we'll go to Berkeley Springs. Because other locations are. So we'll go to Berkeley Springs and do the hunt there. Alright, so the verse of the day. The righteous will never be uprooted, but the wicked will not remain in the land. This is Proverbs 10:30. I don't know. It just, like, when you think about it, right? It's saying, you know how a lot of people, or, you know, if you're a good person, you go through hardships. I know that with me personally, I've gone through a lot, and it was always like I would always look around and see other people seemingly like they didn't have as rough as I did, and I never really understood that. You know, they were always so conceited. They were um, greedy, I guess, really greedy as well, and like they I guess the one thing I would be like is so you have someone that you work with, right? Sorry, throat issues. And you get to know them, and like it's like you can't understand how. You can't understand how. How is this even possible? Because this person, um, they move up. You know, you sit there, you work hard. You do things. You've got good work ethic. You do things the right way. You treat people kindly. And yet you see this other person they get the promotion. And you sit there and you're wondering like what in the world is going on, but what is, and you start looking at yourself, right? You start looking at yourself in a way that you're like, what is so wrong with me that people want don't want me? And that's exactly what was in my head a lot. And I keep forgetting that other people don't do things on the straight and narrow to get what they want, you know? They do things that are, well, pretty much, like, we'll just say it, wicked, to get what they want. And they will skip ahead, they will step on other people to get what they want. And when you start looking at this person's life, when you start looking at this person's, like, you know how they are, you've worked with them, you've seen how they treat other people, you've seen how they treat work when the boss is not around. Now, the one thing that they did do good that I didn't do good was step on other people. Um, I didn't go to the boss and I didn't fill their heads with, lies about other people. I wasn't making up stories. I wasn't pretending to be somebody I wasn't just to get on their good side. If something wasn't right, I spoke out about it. If someone was being treated poorly, I spoke up about it. Um, Now, with them, they were often the ones who were being the ones to treat poorly. They were the ones who were treating other people poorly. These people were. This person was the one who was just the rudest to customers. And it would always be turned around. Um, and when you start seeing, okay, the reasons that the boss chose them, you feel better because it's like, okay, they didn't choose them for any of the right reasons. They chose them because this person boosts their ego. This person makes them feel like they're a great boss, when in fact that they're not a great boss. They treat people unfairly. Um, they don't care, or they don't seemingly care about the other employees. They don't care about how the employees are being treated by other employees. They don't care about how they're being treated by customers. This person liked to do favoritism, so this boss liked to keep people around who boost their ego, who would tell them that they're doing such a great job, they're such a great boss, and etc. So you start to see that that is exactly what goes on in the world today. So people keep other people around that boost their ego, that make them feel like they're doing such a great thing without doing anything. They're not putting work in. They're not out there busting their butt to help their employees. They're sitting in their office while their employees are struggling, and they just have this one or two people around them who are saying, "Oh, you work so hard. You're such a great boss. You do so much around here," um, boosting their ego, feeding their ego, and they get this perception that they are such a good boss. They're such a good person, and that everybody else that works for them just doesn't like them because they're jealous, or they don't like them because they can't see the true about who they are, when in fact it's them with a delusion, with these other people who uh, fed all of this nonsense to them, um, just so they can get ahead. And then that boss, when that person moves on, they find another source. Um, and then when they don't find that source, when those people that feed are gone completely, let's say that they hire other people, then that's when that person ends up um, really having to look within and say, okay, um, it can't be all of these people. All these people can't think this way of me, so what's wrong? And hopefully it would be them choosing to be a better person, or they just move on to um, another person, or they fire people to bring people in so they can get that source. So it is a choice that they have to make. Do I better myself because I can't be, you know, it can't be all these people have a problem with me. There's something that has to happen. Something's going wrong, and either they choose to listen to those people's feedback, or they just brush it off as how those other people, and they keep those thoughts in their head. So when you look at it, they're gonna fall eventually. But you're going to raise because all right, here's an example. Let's say that this person loses their sources, you know, which happens. They lose their source. There's somebody up higher gets, there's people who do have really good work ethic in management. So let's say that this person's boss starts to see productivity and everything just tank. It's the lowest it's ever been, um, and they can't understand why. All right, and so they take a survey of the workers, and they find out that there's something in common, that the management, the supervisor, they don't feel that they are treated fairly. And so let's say, even if they did have their source, eventually they are going to be they're going to be found out, because everything that's done in the dark always comes to light. There's no hiding. You will have your time, of course, but it's a hard lesson, and it's a lesson that's very important that people pay attention to. Like, if you're in that position, you need to really look within. So, so let's just say that the supervisor's boss is like, okay, what's going on? What's productivity going? Um, why are employees not happy? Like, what is going on? So they start looking. They do. The first step would be doing a. I hear another one. Would to be doing a survey. That's anonymous, and then okay, survey is pointing to management. Um, oh, okay, so they got somewhere to start. So they start doing interviews with people, and lo and behold, they start digging deeper, that this manager is not treating people fairly. They are breaking rules. They are not doing the job that they're supposed to do. They found out that everything that they've been told has been a lie, as far as the manager's productivity, keeping morale up, etc., like their ability to do their job efficiently. So you will start seeing this manager come under fire because their boss is like, well, this is hitting our bottom line because our employees are not being productive, and we've had years of this happening. We thought it was the employees, but when we look, it is consistent a consistent issue. And if we have different employees, but they're having the same issue, then that means that there is a problem with management. It's not an employee problem on their end. It's a you problem on the management end. So they start looking deeper into the manager and how they're doing things. So, of course, that would be in a perfect world. Uh, we have management who just simply doesn't care, and um, you have it kind of goes up that ladder with who allows themselves to be surrounded by people who lie, and then you have those who would want them to be surrounded by people who tell the truth, and can help better themselves. So it really does depend, and you'll see that when you give companies who are failing, they have something that's in common. They like to keep around people who spread lies, people who tell them what they want to hear instead of the things that they should hear. Now, it's the same thing with people. It's the same thing with people. If you constantly have people that are around you that are telling you that you're doing a good job when you're really not putting the work in, you know, you're not going to go anywhere. It's going to be like company. It's going to be stagnant. Nothing's going to change in your life. Nothing's going to change in your life. So they continue to do wicked stuff. And there's going to get to a point where they're going to fall, where it's they're gonna have to pay pretty much for, and I'm not sure the right word for this, um, but they're gonna have to reap pretty much what they sow. They sowed all those bad seeds with what they were doing. You know, they weren't looking within themselves to be a better person. They weren't doing anything to work on themselves. They weren't seeing like how they were treating other people as a bad thing because they had a couple of people around them who were feeding that ego. They didn't step aside and say, okay, this is not right. You know, I can't be doing this. It can't be these people because it's new people, but it's the same outcome. So that means I have to be the problem, something in me. But a lot of people don't want to look within because they've got a person, they got like a friend, a family member who is their enabler, and that person is just feeding all this stuff to them saying no, 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 it's not that, it's not you, it's them, it's always them. You don't have, and it's really damaging to people because it prevents growth. It prevents you from being the best possible version of who you are. And eventually, not always, of course, but sometimes that person can meet another person who challenges them and wakes them up to say, okay, this is ridiculous. That person stops and is like, I really like this person. It is happening again. This person is turning, is being just like all the others. But there's something different about this person. This person, instead of just walking away, they're challenging me. And they also have a choice at that point. They can either be challenged or they can go, I'm not going to do this, and walk away and be the same person that they were. I call these people the challenger. The challenger. Everyone has a challenger in their life. Everyone has a challenger at a point in their time that comes in and challenges them to look deeper within themselves, to be the better version of who they are. And you have that option to either endure that pain because it's going to be painful because you're looking within the trauma and the hurt that's in yourself, to be a better version. And like if you're willing to do that, that's like step one into like walking truthfully with Christ, because you are able to heal from your trauma. You're able to just give that all to God, and and then you're able to just start healing. When you give that all, you give it like your all of the guilt that you've had for, maybe you did something 15 years ago, and you feel guilty about it because it was a bad decision, and you've learned, but you still harbor that guilt. Or it could be that you have like lustful desires, you have resentment towards somebody, you kept this, what is that called, someone just said, like, it's like when you harbor like resentment and hate towards someone. It's I can't remember what that is. Let me look it up real quick, while we go to the next spot. A grudge. That's it, the grudge. Brain's not working. So, like if you have grudges towards people, which is that means you're withholding forgiveness. When you start to let all that go, you feel so much lighter, and then you're able to look even deeper, and you start healing, and then you start just like purging all this stuff out of your life. And then the wicked people, when it talks about this, it's like you're given a chance. It's not like, it's not black or white. It's not like you have to immediately from birth be this pristine person. God knows who we are. Who knows the mistakes we're going to make ahead of time. But he can't say that, he can't say, come to me. He wants you to, but you have to make that decision yourself. You have to make the decision to put the work in. You have to put that work in to go to him. You have to do it. he can't do that for you. This is where it says you have to open that door. You have to open that door and you have to let him in. And in order to make room for that, you have to be willing to just look it within, and you have to be willing to just let it all go. You have to be willing to go to him with your sins, and you have to be willing to go to him and let all this anger, this hurt, the pain, everything out. You have to just be willing to do that. And it's a hard road. It's not easy. It definitely isn't easy to face that. Um, but I can tell you that once you get onto that road, once you start um, to heal, it's like piece by piece, you start to feel lighter and lighter and lighter, and then when you get to the end, and I'm still not to the end. I am layering that stuff down. I'm getting in the nitty gritty here, but at this point in my life right now, with the work that I've done, um, oh, it wasn't just me. I've had help, you know. I've talked to people. You can bring people in who are trusted, who are understanding, and who can assist you to be that listening ear. Like if you need that, do that. There's going to be people who are going to help you get this stuff out by listening, just listening, not criticizing you. They can give you advice on how to cope with it, like doing like a meditation, etc. But they shouldn't be them, giving you any like, oh yeah, I'm sorry that happened. These should be people who are supporting you and just listening to you, so that way you're working through all of the emotions and everything that's in you. So if you have somebody who's trusted to do that, definitely let them in and let them be that listening ear for you. It helped me tremendously. It started with one person, and then it moved with me having two people that I could go to. And I bring each one in depending on what it is, because I don't want, I had pain and anger, resentment towards my hubby, and I didn't want to project that onto him, so I would go to my best friend, my second best friend. Hubby is my first, but I would go to my second best friend, and I would, and it would be that listening ear for me, so I could get this out without making my hubby feel like a bad person, because I understand that that was a part of his journey, and he was at a point where he was making decisions on what is going. I was his challenger, and he was at that point making decisions on what he was going to do. Was he going to go on the path of being the better version of himself? Or was he going to go down the path of destruction and just live the easy life of being a horrible, mean person? And so, with him showing me that he wanted to be the best version of himself, that allowed me to start healing. And he started to heal. So, I was able to help him heal from his wounds. And he's doing that right now, and then I was able to heal from my wounds. So that's kind of what I've done. And if it was anything that was else, anything that was related to him, I didn't want to project that onto him and make him feel bad about himself. I do talk to certain things about him. Don't get me wrong. But if it's anything that's like super deep, where I've got a lot of anger, I try not to project that onto him because I don't want him to feel like he's horrible. That I don't love him, because I do. I truly do love him, and uh, I do believe that we were put into each other's lives, so we could help each other. We were each other's challenger. He challenged me in ways other people didn't, and then I challenged him in ways that other people didn't. So we would be the best versions of ourselves. So it's definitely a win-win, but at that time when it was going on, it didn't feel like it. I had these reservations about staying. It was really hard for me because I kept having people tell me, "Why are you with him? Go. You need to just leave him. Just go." And a lot of people, like my ex-best friend, would tell me that I needed to leave him instead of being there just to listen to what was going on. I had to push it down because I knew what they were going to say. So they didn't help in any sense at all by telling me all this. They just, had me harbor it more and more, and it just lasted longer. But I will say that it's God's timing. It's all in God's timing. So he knew that these people were not right for me. They were just there to take advantage of who I was, and I'm a very giving person. So I was giving my energy to them. And so they were like leeching off of this energy. Unbeknownst to me, I didn't know. And so God was setting it up to where there's going to be a point where they would fall away, and they would choose to do so. And I would be okay with it at that point because I would understand. And although it was difficult, I did. I started that friend started to fall away, especially when I got into my faith. So, so the people that were telling me to leave him, who did not understand, um, who didn't understand what was going on, who didn't listen, who didn't see um, anything. You know, they didn't. Well, I wouldn't say see. They didn't hear. They didn't hear what I was actually like telling them. They were just wanting to judge. And and so the one thing that they were doing, the easy thing to do at that point is to leave. That's the easy thing. Why would you put yourself um, through this to? I'm gonna pick all of it up because I've got Fallout first now. um, like, why would you put yourself through that? Why? And they didn't understand. Like when I tell them, and I couldn't. Like I believed that he was a really good person. Like I believed in him. They would be like, that's ridiculous. You shouldn't do that. He's doing this to you and whatnot. But they didn't listen to me. They just wanted to be the right person. They wanted me to right. They wanted to be right. They wanted me to leave and not try to put the work in. They wanted me to be like a lot of other people who just take the easy way. So I think that's all that's there. So I was at that point I didn't understand that these people like would disappear eventually. I just thought that they would understand, eventually the reason why um, I did the things that I'm doing. Even then, I didn't understand what I was doing, but like I was like sure that they would understand eventually. When I would find that realization. So I had this tug of war, I had this voice in my head that was saying, no, just hold on, keep going strong, keep challenging them and let them challenge you. Don't give in now, don't give up, keep going. So I did, and the things that I learned from this experience are absolutely beautiful. I have learned forgiveness unlike no other. I've learned forgiveness. I've learned patience. I've learned mercy more than what I've been before. Before I used to be like a really kind person. I am still a kind person, but I'm talking about like I used to be a person who was so giving that I wouldn't have boundaries. Now I understand mercy. I understand that you can't just give, give, give. You have to set boundaries, and it's okay to have boundaries. It's okay to deny people because of how they treat you. It is okay to be like, I can't do this anymore because you're not showing me that you're actually taking the steps to do this for yourself. Like I can be the light, the lamp once in a while. Like I can come in and say it's okay, you're fine. And then I can just fade back out, but they have to be willing to put the work in. And if they're not willing to put the work in, there's nothing I can do. I can't do it for them. And I never understood that before. Before it was like I felt like I had to be the sole proprietor that fixes people, that I had to be the one who gives all of my energy for them to be okay. And I needed to be okay with saying no. I need to be okay with setting those boundaries, with saying that I can help you, but I can't do it for you. I can be there to be supportive, but I'm not going to be able to do the work for you. You have to be able to pick up. look within and put the work in, um, because there's other people that are going to need help, and I can't just keep focusing on one or two people and putting all my energy into you. I will be there, of course, but I can't do it for you. So that was my lesson. And at that point, at that point is when I just gave it all away. I let it all go, the control and everything, and that's when you start really seeing everything start to change. You start seeing that either the people um, are going to start putting the work in themselves. Of course, you're going to be able to come in and you're going to help them and be supportive for them, but you start seeing them do the work themselves, and you start seeing this light in your life start shining because they're starting to give you the energy that you gave them. You know, it's starting to be reciprocated. And life gets just so much easier for both of you, you know, because you don't have any of the traumas and stuff holding you back. But then you'll start seeing the people who don't want to do it themselves. Um, and these are the people who are going to fall away from you. It's not always going to be permanent, you know, but um, you do have to be okay with letting people go because if they're not willing to put the work in themselves and they just want to leech off of you, then they don't have the best interests of you in mind. They're in it for themselves. And that's something that you have to understand. That it's okay for these people to go. There might be a time where that switch just flips in their head and they start putting that work in and they come back to you and they're like, you know, I appreciate all that you tried to do. I didn't see it at the time, but you were trying to help me better myself. And I didn't at the time believe that, but now I understand. I understand what was happening. I understand everything. And then they come back into your life. It might not be the same type of relationship that you had before, but you can definitely tell that they put the work in, and it's a beautiful thing when you see that. So don't be discouraged when things are seemingly fall away. Um, you know, it is part of life, and as you vibrate higher, um, you're not going to be able to have other people with you because they're not at that level yet, and everyone works on their own at their own speed. So you have to be willing to be okay. I'm going to do this because I trust that this is what this is what God wants for me, and I'm going to do this for me. So, um, yeah, don't be too worried about about the future and stuff. Just hold your faith and keep working on you. Of course, be that light for people once in a while, but don't drown yourself trying to fix everything for everybody. You're just going to grow really weary and tired, and it's not a fun it's not a fun thing to do. All right, I'm gonna go up here. So if we get back to that verse, um, it's pretty much saying that you would never be uprooted. You would never be um, taken. Things, of course, bad things happen once in a while, but you're never gonna be like uprooted. You know, from from your blessings, because if you stay righteous, God knows your heart. The wicked, on the other hand, they may get their shiny cars, and they may get that promotion ahead of you, but eventually their deeds, their wickedness is going to come to light, and they're going to lose it all. It's the same thing with people who go and commit adultery, people who are constantly using other people to get what they want. Eventually, that's going to come to light, and their life is going to crumble. Um, while you, where they thought that you were nobody, they thought that you were not going to be able to because they were just excelling so much faster, but you were righteous, you were taking care of other people, you were being the genuine, kind person that you are. And it may have felt like you didn't get anywhere, but you're going to start excelling because you're stuck through with it. You put the work in yourself. You didn't squash other people to get what you wanted. You didn't lie. You didn't cheat. You tried to do the best that you could. You followed the best that you could. Now, God knows that we're not perfect. We fall. That's fine. But you got back up. You got back up. You did. You got back up every time that you fail. Every time that you fell. Um, not failed, but the fell. Anytime that you did fall, you got back up and you were like that. I'm not going to let this stop me. I am going to continue to be who I am. You didn't let the things of the world change you. You didn't let them make you bitter. You didn't let them make you um, hurt other people for the fun of it. You didn't let the world change your amazing, wonderful heart. So you will eventually start seeing your life change. You'll start having people come into your life who want nothing but the best for you. And you're going to identify it because these people, when they may be broken when they come into your life, but you'll notice that they're so reciprocated, they reciprocate your feelings to them that they're willing to take that challenge that you're giving them. And then you'll start to feel challenged by them because you want to be that better person for them. You want to be the better person that you know that you are. So you stop doing things that are harmful. You start looking at yourself. You start healing from trauma so it doesn't affect your relationship with them. You start healing and being unapologetically you. So don't don't give up as a person. Don't give up. It may seem like a really hard road that you're on, but don't give up. Don't give in to how easy it is to go the other way. Put the work in yourself and do the hard thing, you know. And eventually you will see. It is not going to be with your timing. You're going to struggle for a while, and that's okay. That helps you build up that resilience, and you just have that faith. You know everything's gonna be okay. You've seen these bits and pieces of miracles. You wake up every day, and you are pushing forward through the destruction, pushing through everything, and you still have that faith that everything's gonna be okay. And your you hold on to your heart. You don't let it affect you like it affects most other people. Um, and then you'll start to see that the people who let the world influence them, who became the worst versions of themselves, will eventually start to fall, and they won't get back up because they don't have that strength in them because they took the easy way. They took the easy way. So you build up that resilience. You build up the resilience to continue on. And no matter what happened, you knew that I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. So don't ever look at other people and see them being like faster to accomplish things, because you never know if they're taking the bad road, if they're taking that easy road, that yes, they're going to appear to be doing well for themselves. They'll have this fancy house, they'll have fancy cars, they'll seemingly have the family and partner of their dreams. But you will start to see eventually, years and years later, um, that while you're starting to rise, they're starting to fall because they got everything that they needed, everything that they wanted through wickedness, through cheating, hurting people, using people, letting the world define who they were. No more kindness, no more empathy, no more compassion for other people. They just got what they wanted, and that's it. That's all. That's all that mattered was what they wanted, what they could get out of it. Um, and that's what that verse is talking about. You know, the wickedness, they will always get, what is coming to them. They have every opportunity during their time to repent. They have every opportunity during their time to say, I can't live like this anymore. I need to be a better person. Um, they are definitely given opportunity, but a lot of them do not take that opportunity. They continue living their wickedness. They continue stepping on other people to get what they want. They continue to be cruel and cold towards others. Um, they just like they don't give like marginally. I'm not sure how to put this, but if you're blessed, we have to take care of each other. You know, and that is helping other people who are not able to care for themselves. I'm not talking about people who choose. I'm talking about those who have things happening in their life where other people have taken what like unjustly, people who were done like treated unjustly, having that ability to help those people. Um, they give what they think that they can, you know, what is that word I'm looking for? I've got to go pretty soon. So they just give what they think they can spare. So they may have, millions and millions of dollars, and they only give, $10 to. That's very telling on a person, honestly. So don't don't get discouraged. Don't ever get discouraged of what is going on in your life, because what you have going on and what other people have going on are far different. You don't know their trials and tribulations. We shouldn't be competing against each other when it comes to who's the richest and who's got the most wealth, because each of us are on our own path, and not everybody's path means that you're going to be wealthy. Um, you can be, but it doesn't mean you're going to be wealthy immediately. There are some of us, our path is to be, um, like it's a test. We have to maintain our faith. And that may mean that we are in poverty for a while. We're having this season of lack because we are learning lessons. And we can either take those lessons and turn it into something beautiful, or you let those lessons destroy you and turn you into a person who is just cold-hearted, hard-hearted, like it turns your heart to stone. So the decision is up to you. You always have that decision. It's free will. That's the beauty of how we were created. We have to, everything that we face is a determinate is a choice that we make on how we are going to let that affect us. We either take it personal and let it harden our heart, or we let it go through us and we don't harbor. We don't harbor. We don't let it change who we are. We don't let it change who we were beautifully made to be. So, again, don't get discouraged. I need to actually go, so I guess I'll end the stream here because my hubby is going to be going on break. And it's been longer than an hour, I want to say. Yeah, it's been an hour and 10 minutes. So that was funny. It was like 111. 1111 was on the thing when I came up to it. Um, so I'll go ahead and end the stream here. Thanks again for watching, and I will be doing another stream on Friday. As usual, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, depending. I sometimes do skip days There are days where I feel absolutely exhausted. I haven't been sleeping well the last several days. I've been having these dreams that have been just crazy nuts. So I have not been sleeping at all. But I definitely try to push myself to do the live stream. And thanks for listening to me rant. If you're watching, there's 11:11 again. So I hope you guys have a fantastic day, a fantastic week ahead, a blessed day, a blessed week ahead. I look forward to 11:11 again. Absolutely love these synchronicities that are happening. I will. Oh, well, I'm not really sure what I'm going to be talking about on Friday. I will find my verse of the day that it happens. Whatever feels good is going to feel good. So, you guys have a great day, have a great week, have a blessed day, have a blessed week. I will catch you on Friday. Like, share, subscribe. Definitely share if there's anything that resonates with people. And if they think that they resonate with this channel, I definitely could use support. Not monetary support, but just like support from people who understand the trials and tribulations that we go through in life. And of course, if there's other things you want to talk about, just message me and we'll see what we have. And if you want to join me on a live stream and talk about our faith, talk about your trials and tribulations and what you've done to surpass them, what you've done to overcome them, how your faith has helped you see your life from a different point of view, a different lens. I would love to have people on here as well. So that is all for now. Again, have a great day. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.